presidency is not tenable, we should also remind him that his kingsmen died in the Civil War. And if he says...
Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's Serious Matters on ONIF TV, and we have a very, very interesting topic to look at this particular show. Thank you once again. My name is Olukunle Abraham, and very, very sensitive a matter that we will be looking at. I want us to listen to and watch this video by the Arise TV crew, where we have Rufai Oseni, Ruben Abati, and Tondo Abiola, where they responded or made comments with respect to Uzodimma, Governor Hope Uzodimma's comment on Igbo presidency coming to, the presidency coming to or going to the Igbos come 2023. He had said that Igbos should forget about the presidency 2023 election until they make peace with Nigeria. That is a very, very thick one. That's very, very heavy. A statement made by, somebody of the same extract. It's like standing against oneself. It's like speaking against oneself. Let's watch the video and listen to the wisdom with which this young man and lady, dissects the matter, the different angles from which they looked at it. Personally, I feel very, very, I feel somehow, seeing our political elites speaking. You can imagine a politician of his caliber, being tribalistic in his comments and in his statements. And just like you hear Rufai say that, he's going to, we are sure we're going to hear more of this when the campaign begins and all of that. That's deep down in these politicians, there is tribalism and all sorts. You cannot just fathom all that they are all about. Let's watch this video and then we'll come back to discuss the matter.
The development, the Imo State governor, member of the APC, Senator Hope Uzodimma, has told the Igbos to forget the presidency in 2023, and they could only produce a president of their extraction whenever they found peace with Nigeria. A lot to talk about, Tunde.
I just find that statement from Governor Hope Uzodimma completely absurd. I'm sorry, it's hilarious. Why on earth would he say such a thing? I mean, it's well within his rights and perfectly in order as a member of the APC to campaign for the APC presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate. That would be great. I feel that he should have stuck to that and just extolled the virtues of their candidate rather than telling a whole ethnic nationality to forget their aspirations to be president. Who on earth says such a thing? And it's no less scandalous because he himself is of the Igbo extraction. I think that's beside the point. When you make such a comment, what you are inviting is really sharp rebuttals, which I'm sure will come, and quite rightly too. Nobody has the right to say that, whether about Igbos, Yorubas, Tivs, name it. It's such an outrageous thing to say. I'm sorry, I just cannot believe he uttered such words. A person at that level of leadership really ought to know better. Rather focus on why Nigerians should elect your party.
What Uzodimma was saying, he says Igbos cannot be a president in 2023, they should forget it. Well, that's unfortunate, considering the fact that there are Igbo candidates on the ballot. At least there are at least two that are prominent. There is Dumebi Kachuku, who seems to be having issues with some of his party members. There is Peter Obi, who is the most prominent Igbo man on the ballot. And what is the condition that Hope Uzodimma is giving? He says until Igbo land becomes the Israeli model in Nigeria. Well, isn't that part of the argument? That the potential of the Igbo man within the Nigerian equation has been continuously frustrated since the Civil War ended in 1971. But in real terms, the war against the Igbos, they insist, has not ended because the Civil War has not really ended in real terms. Now, the other thing he was saying is that until Igbo land makes peace with the rest of Nigeria. Okay, he didn't go into the details in that regard. So is he promoting, irredentism or ethnic hatred or the politics of hate? So these are some of the issues. So these politicians just must be careful going forward, the kind of things they say to their audiences.
Right. I mean, I don't care so much for what politicians will say because they'll do the things they'll always do. They'll abuse each other. They'll run away from the issues. Because when you start to interrogate them on the issues, they'll cry foul that you're not being fair to them. Why? Because one, they don't know the issues. They're very clueless. Their ideas are jaded. And when their ideas are jaded, they don't bring anything forth to the table. So they put catchphrase and buzzwords. And when they put those buzzwords out to interrogate and drill to micro-granular details, they'll never give you answers. And all of these things I've said are true. If you think I'm lying, 28th of September, when we start to ask again, you will see their responses and you will not be surprised, right here on Arise TV. Secondly, for the Igbo man that says an Igbo presidency is not tenable, we should also remind him that his kingsmen died in the Civil War. And if he says his kingsmen that died have no rights to presidency, then he's saying that those that died in the Civil War probably died in vain. Because we even forget the terms of the Civil War. We forget in a hurry. Anyway, how are we going to remember when we have a country where they don't teach history in school? We forget that the marginalization complained about in the Civil War is still the marginalization happening today. We forget that it has taken over 40 years to complete the second Niger Bridge. And these are the things the Igbo cry marginalization for. We forget that rail has been done in some other parts of the country, but no rail has been done in Igbo land. We forget that the Igbo people still complain of a debt of federal infrastructure. So if these people are complaining and they say Igbo presidency is the pathway for reassurance, and an Igbo man says nothing for you, that you have to make peace with Nigeria, then it speaks volumes of what the person said and who the person is. But you should remember that it is righteousness that exalts a nation. And perhaps be careful with the things they say to their own people just because of political benefits.
All right. Thank you very much. It is still serious matters. And if you listen very, very closely, you will agree with me that this one is a serious matter in the polity of Nigeria. And so the problem is deeper than we know. It's deeper than we know. People are still being tribalistic, and it is unfortunate that it's happening among the political elites. And so if we keep recycling this type of mindset, then we will continue to have the same result on development. Look at the instances that Rufai pointed to. It has taken about 40 years to build a second Niger Bridge. Very, very minute development going into that direction. You know, Uzodimma would probably not have made such a statement if not that he is privy to, or he has access to certain informations that have been discussed in the bigger circle of the politics of Nigeria. And so it's absurd. And this thing does not just happen among the Igbos or in the Igbo extract. It also happened in the Yoruba extract. When we look at the way the Hausas handle their things, and when you talk about the Hausa, the Fulani, the Tiv, all of them in the north, when you see the way they handle their things, you see that they are more, even though education is not, they're not as educated as the Yorubas, Igbo are. They are not business mongols like the Igbos are, and so on. But then they work for themselves. They support themselves. They agree with themselves. They don't eat up them. They don't shoot themselves in the leg. They don't shoot them. They don't backstab themselves. They don't backstab. Even if you do not support, even if you do not like a candidate, it doesn't mean that you should now use that candidate to categorize a whole tribe and say they should forget about it, you know, until they make peace with Nigeria. Well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. If Peter Obi wins the election of 2023, let's see what happens. If President Muhammadu Buhari will not, you know, just like the way we see him and we emphasize what he's going to do, he will hand over. From what I perceive, he will hand over. Because I see a man who wants to leave a lasting, a die-minute lasting legacy. which of course has a way of eliminating or erasing, you know, whatever bad or dirty mindset anyone might have had about him. So I think that it is high time we detribalize our minds. We are all human. If we have agreed to be one nation, then one nation we should be. And stop saying that, look, we Yoruba, this one is Hausa. Yes, we speak different languages, but we should still deal with ourselves as one nation. So we should work together towards the development of our nation. Our nation, not my nation, not my country, our country. Our country. This tribalizing every matter, it won't work for us. It has never worked, and it will not work. It will not work. Look at what is happening in the East, the Southeast. Unknown government, ESN, IPOB, everything. All because of this tribalism. It's all about tribalism. They feel that they are being marginalized. And it's expected of any sane human being to feel slighted, if not treated, or if he doesn't get what he expects to be getting, especially when he knows that it is my right to get this thing. So I think that it's high time we come together and we break this bound and this barrier of tribalism. And it is written that a house that stands against itself is going to be divided. Instead of coming on here to tell us all this, why don't you go and discuss that among yourself? Why don't you go and discuss that amongst yourself and not come and say that on national TV? It's absurd and unexpected of a political elite and a governor, for that matter, a sitting governor, to come out and say that Igbos should forget about presidency. And for crying out loud, who gives him the effrontery or the power to say Igbos should forget about presidency? If Obi wins, constitutionally, he's supposed to be handed over to. So, he has the right to contest. He's already contesting. He has supporters, more supporters than every other person. The majority are obedient and useful. And so what are we saying? And then the sitting governor still comes and is trying to divide what we are trying to bring together. You discover that whether Hausa, he has followers among the Hausas, he has followers, he doesn't need to go and be bailing, he can't be giving 50 million to some people. No. You can't buy love. Love is worth more than money. It's worth more than money. And come 2023, we need somebody who is competent. And let's see what Obi will do if he becomes president. If he wins election. If he wins election, will Uzodimma go and meet the president and say, don't hand over to him? Why are we like this? Yoruba self go, they chop themselves. Let's say, what is all this? Well, just break all this barrier and love ourselves and work together. And do it with all this, with this competition with nobody. Are we the only one on earth? Look at our nation. Look at a whole nation has suddenly almost become a zoo. Where people kill themselves. People, maim themselves. Some in the name of ritualism, some in the name of kidnapping. All sort of things happening. I know we can have a better Nigeria if we do the needful. And one of the things that we need to do is to detribalize leadership. Detribalize among followers. Detribalization. Nothing like no ethnic barrier. Oh, you are Igbo, you are no. I think the only way people should know is by your accent. That you are not Yoruba, that you are not Igbo, that I am not an Hausa man. Outside that, we are all bounded together, one. And I believe that with the way we are going, we're going to achieve that come 2023 and furthermore. and that will bring lots of development to us as a nation. Thank you very much for watching. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. Well, please feel free to drop your comment, make them simple and civil, and also please do share our videos with others. Drop your comment. We are open to your opinions. Please do drop them, make them simple and just civil. Thank you very, very much for watching. We appreciate you. Once again, my name is Olukunle Abraham. These are just our opinions, and so please, they are, just the way we see things. And this is Serious Matters. Let's look at them together. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye-bye.